I was going to say, looking at this route for the new show, I didn't really see much of a point of making it as a separate video. Who knows, it could be as good or as bad as the Fife Circle that we looked at earlier in this year. However, the interesting nature of this specimen has forced me to, well, make it as a separate video. You'll see why very, very shortly. A lot of people were rightfully anticipated for this route, and there was a lot of hype being built up for it. Release day came and went, and the hype train derailed in a spectacular fashion. Let's look at the pros first. The route is 113 miles long, and London to Birmingham New Street makes a damn sight more sense than Southampton to Bournemouth, or just the Fife Circle. So that's very nice. Some of the station modelling is alright. I could have sworn that one of the platforms at Cheddington was a different colour, because of, like, a different construction material was used or something or other. Other than that, the modelling of the stations is mostly okay. Tring looks nice, Milton Keynes looks okay, Bletchley is mostly fine too. Positives, what else? You get lots of rolling stock included. The 221 and 390 have been dug up from the grave. That was Richard Branson's copyright bonanza. They're now in the Illuminati Advanti livery, which is, it's a livery. You also get the 377 and 378, which are trains that I've never ever seen in Drainsim before. And a Class 66, with FSAs and FTA wagons. Again, we've never seen these wagons before. I would do a joke where I'd list off a whole bunch of different kinds of wagons they could include, but I can't be bothered. I'm just going to link you to this lovely website that has effectively an entire catalogue for you to enjoy. The massive air quotes best train included is the 350. Whoever was behind this did the faintest amount of research and actually bothered to include the few differences between the variants. The Dash 1 has the blue 2+2 seating, the Dash 2 has the green 3+2 seating, and the Dash 3 has the green 2+2 seating, as well as the 110 mile an hour speed capabilities where applicable between the variants. Okay, that's quite nice. It's still inferior to the 350 Enhancement Pack, and that's purely because of the sound and the physics. They're still pretty bleh. I'll also give praise for the additional signal variants they added to this route. The horizontal New Street signals are a welcome addition, as well as some alternate variants of signals we've seen before. Yeah, that's all I got for positives. I think the negatives with this route begin with the live stream that they did on the night of release. Nothing against the stream hosts, I think they were, alright. No, it was more of a case of the performance of the route whilst they were driving. The frame rate was nothing short of comical, and it made me wish they actually used a toaster instead of this, nickel-cadmium battery I presume they were running it off. But a subpar livestream is not the main reason why I think this is one of the worst add-ons Dovetail have released so far. Whilst I already gave praise to some of the station modelling, this clearly doesn't extend to every single station. For example, Coventry looks fine from certain angles, but the island platform, I don't know what happened here. On the country end, the train is literally fusing with the platform and, it would scrape the paint a bit. But on the London end, the gap between the train and the platform is so wide it trip up Oscar's Pistorius. I heard lots of complaints saying that Euston looked really bad, and I thought, it looks okay to me when I first loaded it up. It might be a bit dark on some areas here and there, but I'll live. And then I looked through platforms 1 to 6 and immediately regretted saying that to myself. Look at the vertexes on the curvature of the platforms there. It reminds me of Just Trains' Western Main Lines at Cardiff, if anybody remembers that. And this little service ramp here, there's no pillars holding it up. It's just being anomalously held up by, magic? Let's go with magic today. And worse still, it was too low, so it clips through the OHLE. Oh my goodness. No, you can't do that. That completely takes me out the experience, because anytime I picture, a service vehicle going up on that ramp, they're gonna get electrocuted. Sorry if that's a bit childish, but how could you not think that? The bridge on the approach to Berkhamsted is clipping through the rail. That would cause some clearance issues there. There's also a distinctive lack of EPS speed signs throughout the entirety of the route. There are some, the old ones obviously, because, you know, why would we use the new ones from the West Coast Mainline Trent Valley? They're nowhere near as prominent as they are IRL. Take a look at this one, for example. Speed limit is 85 for standard and 100 for EPS. Compare and contrast to Train Sim. Lovely. And to top it off, a distinctive lack of markers. Now, markers are important in the game to tell AI trains where to go, where to stop, you know, things like that. If we take a look at the yards at Wembley, you'll see that there's no markers at all, anywhere. Now, look how big this yard is. How are you supposed to make a scenario without any markers to help you? Oh my goodness. That is appalling. Yes, I think that it's lazy to ship a route without markers in the yards. Yes, this makes it feel unfinished to me. I even saw this signal nearby the yard with a F1 and an F4 aspect, which really confused me because why would I be routed to the left when there is no left possible routing? I decided to search up what this signal was in real life, and funnily enough, it was only just an F4 signal. Now, I understand that some of the route builders who are watching this might be very upset with what I'm saying. I understand that the current state of affairs is making route building a bit more, let's say, of a hassle. But the reason why I'm being so harsh, or it might seem why I'm being so harsh regarding this, is for one simple reason. This is being sold as version 1. A route with broken signals, missing AWS ramps, multiple yards without a single marker to be seen, the wrong speed signs, inconsistent quality with the station models, and only a single set of portals across the entirety of the Watford DC line is version 1. That is why I see it as lazy and unfinished. Because, surprisingly enough, I think the consumers deserve a bit better than all that I just listed. It's nothing personal, I just think the audience deserves a bit better. And this isn't taking into consideration the lack of the Northampton loop, which sort of kills the scenario viability in a way. Then again, the lack of markers and portals in areas has already done a good job of that, so... My favourite thing regarding this utter rubbish heap of a route is that on Steam, West Coast Mainline South has a rating of about 20%, which is low even for train sim add-ons. One of the few positive reviews out there is this one here, which is done by one of the guys at Wagons. And if you read the manual, you'll see that they actually helped make this add-on. What? That's chilling! Quite literally.
I'm gonna test it.
What? You're going to test a car that you built?
Yes.
So what are we going to do next week then? VW tests its new Golf.
No wonder people are asking how much did Dovetail pay him to write that review up. Factoring all of this into consideration, please don't waste your time with this add-on. If you've bought it, consider getting a refund. If you haven't, but you are considering of getting it, may I recommend playing Freedom Planet? I know it's not exactly a train simulator, but at least the game's fun to play. And plus you'll be supporting developers who have the smallest amount of a damn for their consumers, unlike Dovetail here. But yeah, that's all I got to say. Route sucks, don't waste your time on it. Thank you very much for watching. The video has now ended.
Darn! We're not gonna make it! Let's speed up!
Man!